while reading the name of these ordinances, we tend to fumble because we don't know what it's all about. So I'll give you very simple names for this. One is the APMC Bypass Act. Basically, what it does is that it says currently farmers, at least in some parts, most parts of the country, sell their produce in a sarkari mandi. This ordinance says you can set up private mandis outside these mandis. The second is essentially a permission to hoard act. That stockist can stock unlimited amount of things. The previous conditions will not apply. And the third is permission for contractual farming by companies act. That's the third act. What is the problem? The problem in the APMC Act is, and farmers all over the country are really very worried about it, that this act would mean that in the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, APMC will start collapsing. Why would they collapse? Because within APMC, there is a certain tax that you have to pay, 4 to 6%. If, say, Mr. Adani or Mr. Ambani sets up a private mandi just outside the APMC, which would attract zero tax, why would anyone go to Sarkari APMC? APMCs will collapse. And once APMCs collapse, that is the only place where farmers can hope to get remunerative prices, because that is the only place where government purchase, government's own acquisition takes place. So the fear is this, that in the next 3, 4, 5 years, this would mean gradual withdrawal of the remunerative price policy that the government has given to the farmers. And the fears are not unfounded, because over the last 6 years, the government has taken so many steps to ensure that this MSP headache is over. So that's the one fear. On the Hoarding Act, the real fear is that once stockists are allowed to hoard large quantities of agriculture produce, they can play with the price.
Yes.
Reduce the prices when farmers bring their crop, and enhance it when farmers are exhausted with their own share. This is a standard market play. On contract farming, although this is a long-term thing, the fear is that it would be a very unequal contract. So a farmer signing a 25-page document written in Hindi, English, or something, where a company has a slew of lawyers to defend, and the farmer would not even begin to understand what that contract was. Basically, put together, all these are moves towards corporatization of Indian agriculture. Now, corporatization of agriculture in the US is one thing. It has one kind of consequences. But in a country where average holding is about 2 acres, in a country where most of the farmers are small, where they badly need a mandi somehow to give them decent prices, this could mean, this could be catastrophic for the farmers. That's why I was there today in front of the parliament protesting, because today all the 3 bills were being introduced. These have already been introduced as ordinances, but an ordinance lapses. Once the parliament starts its session, within 6 months it can lapse. So the government is now introducing it. And we are at the moment saying something very, very simple. Please consult us. Please consult
because that was going to be my next question. We've had conversations in the past about the fact that farmers do believe that there is a hegemony within the APMC system, where traders within the APMC bully the farmers in simple terms on what they will buy, and on days when the farmers don't agree, they don't buy from them at all, and the farmer has no choice to take it anywhere else because they're mandated to go to the APMC. Isn't this one way to come out of that? If someone can buy from me outside the gate of the APMC, doesn't that give me as a farmer a second option?
There are all kinds of problems with APMC. So APMC is a roof that leaks very badly. But the answer is not to remove the roof altogether. The answer is to improve that roof. Places where APMC system does not exist, for example, Bihar APMCs were done away in 2006. How free are the farmers of Bihar today? All over the country, paddy sells for about 16 to 1700 rupees a quintal. In Bihar, it sells 900 to 1000 rupees a quintal because there are no APMCs. So farmers in this country do not want to do away with APMCs. They want APMCs. They want these official Sarkari mandis because that's the only place where they can have some say. So they want improvement. They want it to be fine-tuned. They want a lot of petty local politics to go away. lot of modification, but you repair your roof. You don't do away with your roof. That's what's happening.
In the contract farming, again, this has been something government has mentioned many times, will bring a great deal of business into agriculture, because companies will be able to procure directly from farmers. Do you just see the process of drawing up the contracts would be unfair, or is there more concern about it? Is it a step in the right direction that could use fixing?
Look, to be very frank, I actually don't expect much action on that in any case, because I don't see companies rushing to do contract with farmers right away, because that's way far beyond. Do remember that a lot of contract farming is already taking place in the country in specific instances. So if you have a factory for ketchup, you do enter into contract with farmers to supply your tomatoes and so on and so forth. The experience hasn't been very great for the farmers, but these things do exist. And there is I would imagine at least 1/3 of Indian agriculture is under informal contract agriculture. Theka, this is bataidari. These are very standard informal arrangements. This is not about those informal arrangements. These are about formal contractual arrangements with farmers. I think one has to look at the experience and decide. To my mind, this is a gesture at the moment, which is unlikely to result into something very concrete. And the protections provided to the farmer, even in this gesture as of now, are not sufficient.